Hey everyone, welcome to my new tutorial. Today we are going to build a sandcastle in Blender, and I really hope you will enjoy this one. And if you do, please don't forget to leave the like, and if you're new around here, hit that subscribe. And if you just started Blender and you want to understand all the basics, also check out my free starter course. The link will be in the description. You just sign up on my website. It's 100% free, takes 1 to 2 hours to complete, and it will make so much easier to go through my other tutorials. So if you're interested, please check out the link in the description. Now let's jump into Blender and let's prepare our scene. So first of all, I will just select the light and the cube here, press X and choose delete. And let's start with the base for our sandcastle. So let's press Shift A and I will add a circle, and I will leave the number of vertices as is. So let's tap into the edit mode and let's just press E to extrude and then Z and extrude it a little bit like this, and then press S to make it a little bit smaller. And now instead of creating one single face, we'll press Ctrl F and use grid fill, so we have quads, because I want to distort this. I want to use the displace modifier. And while this is still selected, let's go to object data properties and let's create a vertex group, and let's just hit assign. So we have this prepared for displace modifier. And now in the modifiers, let's tab out and let's add a subdivision surface modifier first, and let's give it like a hefty subdivision of 3. Maybe later we'll need to go to 4 and you will see why. And finally, let's go ahead and let's go to form and let's add displace modifier. And now let's switch the direction to Z and use our vertex group, so you will see only the top part is affected. And finally, we'll create a new texture here. Go to texture settings and switch this to wood and choose band noise. And right now let's go back to the modifiers. Let's reduce the strength tiny bit. So this is what we'll get right here. And let's press Shift A and let's create an empty. And now in the modifier, let's use object coordinates and let's pick the empty. So we can now scale the empty to match, our texture mapping. And now let's go back to the texture settings. And now this is the time to play with the settings like turbulence and size. So we want this to look like, lines in the sand a little bit. So something like this, and then we can change the mapping to make it a little bit more dense like this. And finally, back in the modifier settings, we can adjust the strength. Okay, now let's right click, shade this smooth. Now let's build some components for the castle. So let's press Shift A and we'll add another circle. Tab into the edit mode and let's enable X-ray view so we better see what's happening there, and press S to scale it down like this. And let's look from the front by pressing 1 on a numpad. And let's tab out first and let's press G then Z and move it up so it's near the surface like this, so the origin point is there. And now tab back into the edit mode, press G then Z, move it down slightly so it intersects with all levels of the terrain, and let's press E then Z and extrude this up like this and press S to scale it down. Now let's press F to fill. We can disable the X-ray view and press I to inset and I to inset again, so we have some more geometry there. And now we'll select some of the faces to extrude the battlements. So press 3 for face select, and we'll go in pairs because we want to have some more geometry there. So let's select this one, hold Shift, select the other one, and we'll go and select every other 2 like this. Okay, and now just press E to extrude, something like this. And let's look from the front again and press S to scale this down so we match the slope here. And now to add a little bit more geometry, press Ctrl R. If you have more slices there, reduce the number of cuts with the mouse wheel, left click and just slide this up here like that. And now we'll need some more geometry down here. So again, we'll enable X-ray view. Let's press Ctrl R and slide one right about here when it's near the ground, but it doesn't intersect. And Ctrl R again and slide one more up there. Maybe this is now too low, so press G twice to slide it back up. And finally, let's disable X-ray view and the object data properties. let's create a new vertex group, and with the bottom loop selected, hit assign, and now alt click this loop right here and reduce the weight to something like 0.5 and assign. So basically we just saved some selection, and if we tab out and go to the weight paint mode, you will see how this is painted. The bottom selection is all red, kind of goes up in gradient, which will be very important. So let's go to the object mode, and first of all let's go to modifiers and let's add a bevel modifier. So we add some supporting loops. Let's go for 2 segments here, and in the geometry section switch this to arc so we have some nicer geometry, and reduce the amount like this. And now finally let's add subdivision surface modifier, and let's go for 2 subdivisions. Right click and shade smooth, and this is why we made the geometry a little bit more dense, so we don't get many like shading artifacts. And finally we'll use shrink wrap modifier to wrap this, onto the ground. So let's go here, and in the form we'll find shrink wrap and just use the eyedropper tool and pick this. Now it'll just all get flattened down on the ground, but we can choose the vertex group that we already prepared. So the only bottom parts of the mesh will get, wrapped on our mesh, and it will look something like this. Now of course, to make this a little bit nicer, we can go into the edit mode and press S and scale this up, and alt click the bottom one and scale it out like this, and now tab out and you will see it will wrap a little bit nicer, and we can scale this down a little bit like this. Now the one important part here will be to add some normal transfers. So let's add another modifier, and here in the edit section there is a data transfer, and here we'll use the terrain as a source. We'll use our already existing vertex group, so we'll be only applying this on the bottom here, and let's transfer face corner data, custom normals. You can see the shading already changed a little bit, and nearest face interpolated. So this will make sure it looks much better when we apply our materials. And now I want to distribute a few of these around, so we can just look from the top and press Alt D and duplicate this, make it smaller. Let's do one here and one more, so we get something like this. If you want to learn Blender as fast as possible, also check out my full courses, where in addition to the step-by-step instructions, you also get full in-depth explanation of all the tools and all the steps, and you get to learn everything from simple low poly design all the way to full character illustration, textured environments, and with the latest one, full car modeling and animation. So if you're interested, please check out the link in the description and use Sushi Master code for 30% discount. And finally, you can get creative, and build some other components. So for example, here we can build like a little roof or something. So we can shift right click to move the cursor there. Let's press shift A and let's add a circle, tab into the edit mode, make it smaller, press 1 for vertex select, E then Z to extrude, and finally shift D and S to duplicate and scale. Let's press F to fill, E to extrude, and S to make this smaller, and we can add few loops. So press Ctrl R and increase number of cuts with the mouse wheel, so there's a little bit more geometry. And finally let's alt click this bottom one and press Ctrl B to bevel and increase number of cuts to 2, like this. Tab out and press Ctrl 1 to add subdivision surface, right click and shade smooth. And finally let's create the flag here. So I will just shift right click, press shift A and add like a plane. Tab into the edit mode, press M and merge at center. And now with the vertex select mode on, we can press E then Z and extrude, single vertex, and hold shift S and snap cursor to select it. Now we can tab out, right click and convert this to curve, and in the curve settings, geometry section, we can increase the depth. So we have something like this, right click and shade smooth. And now let's press shift A and let's just add a UV sphere and just scale it down here, just like that, and right click and shade smooth. Now for the flag, we'll press shift A, add a plane, tab into the edit mode and press R then X and 90 to rotate 90 degrees, and then press G then X and 1 to move this 1 meter. And now we can confirm with enter, tab out and scale this down like this, so it will be scaling towards that origin point, and we can press G then Z and move it down, scale it even further. Now let's press Ctrl A and apply the scale, tab into the edit mode and select these two vertices, move them outwards a little bit, and then press M and merge them at center. So this will be the base for our scene. Now let's give this some materials and some lights. So we'll expand this section right here, for example, and let's switch this to shader editor. And if we look through the camera, let's hit 0. It's a little bit far away, so we can press N for the side panel. In the view section, enable camera to view, and now we can use our viewport controls to position the camera to something like this. And don't forget to disable this, press N to hide it. And now in the render settings, let's switch to cycles, enable GPU, and I will use denoising here and enable GPU denoising. And finally, I will go for something like 512 samples. And let's select the sand, create a new material. And first of all, let's match the color. So we'll need some light in the scene so we see what we're doing here. So let's hold Shift S, snap cursor to world origin. Let's press Shift A and create sunlight. And now we can press Ctrl B, limit the preview only to camera bounds, and switch to rendered preview. And this is what we get here. Now, this is a little bit too soft, so let's increase the strength to something like 5. And we can press R and rotate the light like this, and increase the angle a little bit so the shadows are a little bit more soft. Now let's select the object and our material again, and let's modify the color so it looks a little bit more like the sand, like this, and increase the roughness all the way to 1. And now let's press Shift A and we'll go for noise texture. And with the Node Wrangler add-on, if you don't have it active, just go Edit Preferences, and in the add-ons, search for Wrangler and check the box for Node Wrangler. And now if you press Ctrl T, it will create a mapping setup. Finally, with the Node Wrangler as well, we can hold Ctrl and Shift and click the noise texture so we can preview this. And of course, this is mapped all over the place, so we can use the object coordinates so it looks a little bit better. And now we can use quite large scale, something like 120 or 140, so we get these grains. And finally, let's press Shift A and we can add a color ramp, plug it here and make it, give it a little bit more contrast. And finally, we want to use this as a bump node, so press Shift A, search for bump, and just plug this here into the height and normals right there. And finally, the material into the surface, and this is what we get here. And now let's add the same materials to our other objects, and you will see how nicely this will blend with the normals transfer. But of course, you can just move these around to find a little bit better placement, give it a little bit of a nudge. Sometimes it won't be perfect, but it's much better than if you just slapped it onto the surface there, because from afar this really looks like one blob of sand. And finally, we can select the ground, tab into the edit mode, alt click the bottom loop, press E to extrude, right click to release, and then S to scale it up. So this will kind of just nicely go from the ground there. We have a nice background, and we can press Ctrl R to create a support loop. Okay, and let's give our sand material to our other objects as well. Here, this just needs to be, something dark and rough. Same here. And finally, this will be our, accent color, something red and strong and vibrant. And additionally, we can press Shift A, add some area light, press G then Z, move it up, make it quite stronger, something like 500, press G then Shift Z and move it back here, and R twice to rotate it towards the scene, so we get a little bit of that backlight from the back, and maybe give it a little bit warmer color. And now if we search for our sunlight here, we can press R then Z and try to match the direction of the light, so these two lights kind of work well together. And finally, let's go to the world settings, and you can increase the brightness of the world but also the color. So let's go something violet, and we'll see how nicely this fills the shadows with a little bit of that blue tone. It really blends the scene a little bit better together. Now probably these lights are too strong, so let's go like 250 for this one, and the sun can be something like 3, and then we can give it a more contrast here in the color management, in the render settings, and we can switch to medium high contrast and play with the exposure, and finally with the color of the sand a little bit more. But that's it for a quick sandcastle model in Blender. This was mostly about, you know, using those modifiers to give the sand a little bit of a structure and to connect these objects with each other, you know, in a little bit more organic way. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please leave that like, and if you're new around here, hit that subscribe. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day.